Huh? The hell? Hello?
Gabe, we've seen your pitch, and we want to invest $1 million if you have a playable run by the next time we talk.
Wow. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'll get right on that. I'm pretty sure it's a scam, but worth a shot. Hello, everybody. I'm Gabe, and in case you haven't been here before, I'm building a deck builder roguelike called Paragon Comics, which is a game set in a comic book universe. I think it's a pretty cool concept, so I thought I wanted to make it. Currently, I'm in a very early stage of development in it still, so most of it's not really permanent yet. Like just the last devlog, I was just building the prototype, so nothing here. Like if it seems kind of off or anything, it will likely be changed in the future. Just trying to get some stuff in to get like the basic functions down before like I lock anything down. But yeah, today we're going to be building the first round of the game. So let's see how that goes. Hopefully it's not too bad. Probably will be. A lot of the code from the prototype will likely need to be changed to kind of be a lot more easy to add stuff in and kind of more versatile to use. So that will probably be like the big first step. Other than that, I only have one villain right now, so I probably need to add a few more because every deck builder roguelike, you need more than one villain in it. So I'm going to try to go for like about 8-ish or so with like a good mix of elites and a boss, obviously, in that mix too. So yeah, so I've done a bit of work since my prototype. Most of it like framework stuff. Like I revamped the card system a bit and did some other changes. So yeah, I forgot to record audio for this whole segment. Great job. Yeah, I even check OBS again and check it again and still don't notice that like my audio's off. So great job, Gabe. You did a fantastic job. You're so smart. Um, Anyways, some of the big changes I made though since the last time. My card system is completely revamped. So basically, before you had to hard code every single card in, make the whole logic, everything, every single time. Now that's not the case. I can actually have like I have this subsystem to where basically I just need to click a few buttons on this menu, and I can build a card for me. I can do some logic stuff like if it's above a certain HP, then this will happen, or if you have this much light buffs, then this will happen. And it's also really easy to expand upon later. So if I want to make a new feature, I can pretty simply just add that into my list, make a few changes in some code, and then I never have to code that part again. It's all done for me. I'll probably expand on this later. I've heard of Odin Inspector, which looks pretty nice. I'll probably use that for the next version of this, but for now, this should work. Oh, look at me. I'm talking, I'm yapping right there, and nobody can hear me. And I had no clue. Good job, Pass Gabe. You did great. Yeah, but you can kind of see it there on the side where I can add different things in, different effects. Pretty useful. So I forgot to record audio for this section too, but I did a little bit of work. I added like 10 new cards with my new card system. Most of them aren't great yet because there's no meta progression, and a lot of them kind of rely on this idea I have in the future of like light consumption, kind of having that be an off way to play. But I also added the like run menu where you can kind of choose what fight is next. Currently, it kind of looks like I'm trying to go for a comic book narrator vibe. I'll probably change it later because I don't think it's great yet, but it'll work for like right now. But yeah, that's about it. Oh, also the buttons don't work. So now the buttons work. It took me a day to figure out that I should just delete all the buttons and then make them again. I don't know why it broke. Honestly, still confused about it. But if I click this, I could choose, say, the Shadow Assassin. Boom, we got Shadow Assassin there. We click the cards, I'm just gonna speedrun this shit. Probably won't lose. Okay, I didn't lose, and now we're here. Boom, we get to choose the next selection of what we want to do. Say we want to do the elite. I just drew the prototype shadow creature, like the creature I had in the prototype, like the first devlog, as the enemy. So if I click that, okay, it throws an error. Oh, Okay, so I guess I don't reassign that the character is the character at the beginning of the thing. So, gotta fix that. I fixed one bug and two more appear. Maybe I don't even deserve the $1,000,000. But actually, I do deserve the $1,000,000. I'm a fucking genius. I fixed the bug. Take that, non-believer Gabe. So that's pretty much all the coding that I actually need to build a run. There's some small things like I need to implement the actual boss part. Basically, I just make it to where the 8th fight is just a boss fight, and that would be the end of the run or something like that. I could tune the numbers later though. But besides that, let me think. The healing room, I need to do a little bit of coding, but it's pretty simple. I just be like, okay, the HP, you take the amount it has, you add half of like the base HP, and then see if it's above the max. If it is, set it to the max. You know, pretty simple, straightforward stuff. And then the like card removal or card gaining type of stuff, but that's also pretty simple. I'm probably going for the card removal. I know a lot of other roguelikes do it to where you can basically remove any card from your deck. I don't really want that though, because you get to build your whole starting deck, which gives you a lot of control over your deck already. And part of the fun of a roguelike is kind of that randomness aspect to your deck and all that. And because that's not really gained with the initial part of your deck, I want it to be where the removal kind of has some of that randomness aspects to it, because I think it's a lot more interesting if you maybe get like a really shit draw on like one of the 3 cards to remove, and they're all 3 really good cards. It kind of offsets your plans a little bit and makes you have to think. Besides that, I need to make some enemies, but I have a whole enemy like UI or like interface to where I can kind of make it. Here, I can show you quick. So here, when I make an enemy, I just need to fill in these boxes rather than actually needing to code it each time. And then I can add the sprite really easily here. I actually built it to where I could change the sprites. So say I want a boss that has multiple phases and they look different for each one. I can add a little bit of logic to where it changes the sprite on each one. And then for each of these, the turns, I just click this. It does some stuff here. I can add some stuff that does. It deals damage or does stuff like that. I'm probably going to expand on this a little bit more in the future to be a little bit more like, say, my buff system or my card system, where I can actually like have logical stuff. Like if it's below a certain amount of HP, it might deal more damage or something like that. But for now, this will work. For the enemies, I'm probably going to have a lot of them be very bursty and have a lot of debuffs. The debuffs is because Radiance has built-in debuff like prevention stuff or debuff alleviating stuff. And to kind of be able to use that and make that part of the strategy, I thought that's a very important part. And then the burst is actually because Radiance isn't insanely amazing at dealing with burst damage, because her blocking and all that is so consistent because of her buffs that like a giant burst might actually be able to deal some damage through it. And I thought that'd be an interesting way to kind of make it more strategic. Like, I know that most of these enemies won't be the final versions of them, but I want to get like in the mindset of I'm trying to build the final versions of this run. But so yeah, that's kind of the idea. As for like the story, I don't want to give away too much, but the 2 main factions that she's going to be going against in this initial run are going to be like either mechanized kind of like thugs and stuff, basically thugs with legal tech and all that, or shadow creatures, which will be because of the main villain of the like arc of her like story arc. So yeah. So I've designed most of the characters now. I have the 4 that I've already built. The like knife gangster who just is meant to do bleed debuffs, kind of make that little extra strategy of like being able to work around debuffs and all that. A shadow assassin character which has like a really high amount of burst and an evade buff, which will basically negate the first instance of damage. Like basically they evade it. And some other basic enemies. But for the elites, I have one that will do a stun. Now I kind of have this feeling that in a deck builder roguelike, like a full-on stun where you lose your turn kind of feels really terrible to have. So I didn't want to do that. My idea on like CC is either kind of delay your turn order or have some way to reduce how much energy you have or how many spells you can play during a round. And then also I have another shadow creature. I figured the shadows would have like a lot of similar debuffs. Like one of them is compromised, which basically creates a multiplier on how much damage bonus that the enemy takes. So if you have that debuff on you, you take extra damage. and I figured that would be a common theme between the whole kind of faction. And then the boss, I don't really want to have like a shadow boss yet because that was going to come a little bit later in the story. But for now, I'm just doing like a kind of simple gang boss type thing, like a leader of like a small gang. And because all the gang has this kind of experimental tech, I wanted this to really prove how dangerous the tech would be. So my idea was that he's really strong initially, but once you drop him down to like 50% HP, he like basically starts taking damage himself and also like has the self weakness debuff, which will make him deal less damage. I figured that would be kind of a cool idea. But anyways, I'm gonna get these characters in and I'll see you when that's done. All right, so I finally finished everything up. I got some new enemies in, a couple of elites, and even a boss. I also added a healing room and a remove card room where you can remove a card from your deck. That took me way too long to do. It brought me physical pain. But anyways, let's get the first official run of Paragon Comics going and make that $1,000,000. So I'm pretty much running the original deck from the first devlog, which just has like a lot of scaling and light buff stacking. I didn't really want to go with the other new cards. I have a few in there, but most of them are kind of bad right now. I need to tune a lot of stuff, but I haven't done that. Anyways, let's start with an elite. That sounds fancy. I think it's actually a useless card. Let's click it. Let's do this. So big burst. Oh, big burst. Big burst. And he healed up half of. Fuck, I died. I thought I nerfed that. Oh my god, I'm gonna die. Fuck. This boss is so hard. Attempts number 10. I've buffed and nerfed so many enemies now, I don't even remember what I've done. So I guess let's try it out. Hopefully this is a run. Let's start off with the Shadow Assassin. I need to watch out for her turn 2. She has a big burst of damage, so let's get a little bit of scaling up until then. Boom, boom, boom. Take a little bit of damage, not too bad. She has an evade buff, so the first attack against her won't really do anything. Oh wait, no, this is the big one. It's the third attack. Oops. Okay, I need to get a huge burst of like shielding here. Okay, yeah, no, I didn't do anything there. Okay, please don't take too much. Ooh, okay, that was better than I expected, but still quite a bit. Okay, big burst, big burst. Let's do a remove card. I kind of messed up the transform on it, but you can pick one of the 3 cards. I'm gonna pick Photon Burst because it's actually terrible. Basically all it does is it makes your attacks for the rest of the turn deal double damage. But it costs 3 energy because I thought that would be a good idea. And by that point, you basically don't have any energy to actually play any other card, other than like maybe a really small one. So it doesn't really do much. So let's just get rid of it. Okay, the boss fight. I've gone here a few times and died every single time, so let's see if we can win this. So he actually has 2 phases. The first one is a lot more of consistent damage and not super strong of damage. And he also has some like recoil damage and some miss debuffs on him. But the second phase, he gets like a lot of ignite damage and like actually starts like destroying himself. But he also deals a lot more damage. So I have to be careful of that. Luckily, I'm full HP because I got heal room right before here. But let's see how this goes. Beacon of Hope, get that initial scaling. Let's do this and this. Get some shield out. That didn't really do much. That was not a great turn, but it's fine. I should take a little bit here, but hopefully not enough to deal too much. Okay, that's worse than I expected. Okay, we definitely need to get that scaling going like fast. Light buffs. This. Oh, okay. I'm not gonna take damage this turn because he puts a self weakness on him in return for healing a little bit. So this is our chance to actually scale. I'm a little worried. Come on, please live. Okay, I lived. After this point, I think I'm okay. He has a compromise debuff on him, so I could deal more damage to him. But I think it's just better to get more like tanky, kind of turtle up a little bit. Okay, I think at this point I'm home free because my game's not balanced and light buffs last indefinitely. Big burst. I think he should be in his second phase. Okay, yeah, he's in his second phase. This is his little symbol for his second phase. I don't have an image for it yet. And this is the ignite debuff that actually deals extra damage to him each turn. Okay, I'm doing good. I think I live this. I think I win. Okay, let's try Guiding Radiance and oh, wait, no, we did it. We did it. Overcharge has been defeated. Run complete. Oh my god. Okay, we won. Oh, I won $1 million. Okay, let's go call that investor real quick and see what she says. Hey, it's me, Gabe. I just finished my first run, so I was hoping for that $1 million now.
Oh, hey, Gabe. Yeah, we decided to go a different direction and invest the money elsewhere since you took too long.
Oh, well, thanks anyways, I guess. Bye. I got scammed.
Hello?
The job is done. I've broken his dreams now.
Good. This will show him.
Hello.
Wait, what the fuck are you doing here? You're not supposed to be here. This is my part of the devlog.
Oh, I just thought I'd give my good old friend Jeremy a little visit. You know, see how he's doing as he like sabotaged my investment deal.
Shit, you found out?
So, is this like a rivalry now?
I guess.
All right, game on.
Fine. Game on.
So, between the buggy, unbalanced mess I call my game, a Redditor that wants me dead at his feet, and being scammed for $1 million, this is still definitely an uphill battle to be able to make this game. But I'm starting to see it come together, and it's seeming a lot more doable than it did a few months ago, so I'm really happy about that. There's still so much work that needs to be done. The next steps are probably trying to make a run have actually 3 parts, because I want each one to be almost like a Slay the Spire run where there's 3 different bosses, 3 different parts in it, but with its own comic flair to it where there's story and progression and stuff. So that's kind of what I'm going to be working on next. Also, I want to start getting the upgrade system, the meta progression kind of working, but that might be a little bit of a future thing, but still kind of relatively close to happening. Besides that, thank you all for watching. If you like the video, please hit that like button. I also have my social medias down below, so it would be cool if you followed those. And yeah, if you want to leave a comment about anything you want to see in the game, let me know.